I'm Cathy Ripmaster, physical therapist, and today I'm going to talk to you about the Rifton Pacer. And I don't know about you, but I do work with children that present with low tone. And so one of the things that I like to do when I'm with one of these kiddos is to provide a little bit of support for their chin. So typically when they are in the pacer, I would see this student with their head down. Sometimes their arms are not in a good position, so sometimes their arms are hanging over their armrests and their head is down. Sometimes their arms are over here and they're still down, and you've tried to adjust it and it just isn't right. So I'm going to show you a little technique that I call the rainbow technique. And what I do is take a towel. This is just a hand towel, and this might be enough. Or you could use a regular towel, fold it in half. I'm going to roll it up. And I just fold it so it looks like a rainbow. If my individual is already in the pacer, what I would do is maybe loosen up the back and just kind of drop them back into that. You might even need to open up the front of the chest prompt a little bit, but open up the back, lean them back, tuck them forward, and then you have this nice little shelf that's right here, and you can adjust the height of it. So what this does is allows them to drop their head, but not quite so far. So they're not having to work nearly as hard when this is up. You're not getting the chest prompt super high into their armpits, but allows them to rest their chin. You could also have them with a neck collar, and the bottom of the neck collar can rest on top of this. Just make sure that you're checking for pressure on their necks. You're not occluding their breathing at all. So this is just one way I would do this. I would also make sure that my arms are in a good position, because even if you have this towel roll in front and their arms are out here and they have low tone, they're just gonna drop further forward. But if you have their arms kind of tucked in nice and close to them, not high but down, it allows them to rest, put their head down, but then they can push up with their arms and use their trunk use their arms to push their trunk up, and it also helps with their head control. You might need to adjust the armrests so that they are the right height. You might have to adjust them on the inside versus the outside. You could also possibly change the angle of the arm prompts. So one way you could do that is if your L bar is facing in or out, but it needs to be this way and not forward or backwards. And you would just loosen it up on there, and you can slide it. I'm just actually gonna have to raise mine up to slide it. I'm gonna slide it out, and I'm just gonna adjust it based on this little round part here, and I can change that angle. So I pushed it forward so there was a little bit more space. So now you can see mine is adjusted up a little bit more. My angle, so that if they had low tone, their arms are tucked into a more flexed position, maybe they could push a little bit more, and you're actually giving them stability. This is also just a really great technique just to keep them in tight, and that gives them a little bit more proximal support so that maybe they could lift their head up, but maybe that proximal support, having their arms in snug, a little bit of support at their chin, maybe that would free them up for some ability to move their legs if they have the proximal support that they need. Another thing that you could do after you change the arm prompts is maybe just change the angle of the chest prompt. What you would do is just loosen up the knob in the back, and that allows your chest prompt to either go forward or backwards. So if the chest prompt is forward, it would encourage their head to be forward, but then you can just tilt it back a little bit, and that might just be enough with this here to help them hold their head up in this position. If you have somebody that's really low tone, you might find that if you have them tilted too far back that you're gonna lose them backwards, but you might be able to find that perfect little medium where they're able to balance their head by changing the angle of their chest prompt. I hope this helps you. in finding some other solutions of making adjustments on your pacer. There are so many different ways that you can adjust your pacer. I would really suggest that you get in the pacer, you kind of position yourself like the individual you're trying to position, and just play around with adjustments to your chest, adjustments to your arms, adding towel rolls laterally if you need to. There's so many different ways that you can adjust the pacer, and if you know how it feels, it makes it a lot easier to adjust it when you're working with your individual that you are. I hope this helps you, and until next time, take care.